What's up, VSG family? It's K-Star, and it's time to do my Week 10 post-op VSG update video. So, it's been a week. A lot of stuff going on this week. Numbers started this journey at 301.2. My surgery weight was 291. Last week, I weighed 248. This week, I weigh 244.6, so that is a 3.4 pound loss. Yes, something like that. So yeah, that's good. My weekly goal is always to lose at least 2 pounds. So that's freaking awesome. I am now down like 56.2 pounds or something like that. So that's super cool. Totally love it. I have a goal set for myself to be halfway to my goal weight by week 15. My goal weight is 170, so about 65 pounds lost from my highest weight is about my midway goal. So I definitely need to lose those 2 pounds every single week in order to get there. So awesome, on the right track. I'm just going to have to stick to my rules and really make good choices over the coming month so that I know I will hit that goal. I'm just praying I don't hit a stall or something like that. So, NSVs this week. Kind of silly. I can sit cross-legged now. I guess I could always kind of do it, but it was never very comfortable for me at my high weight, and it was really awkward. Now I sit like that, and it's completely natural. And it was funny because I was just sitting on the couch like that the other day, and I'm like, when did I start doing this? When did I start sitting like this? I never sit like this. And that's when I kind of realized, maybe that belly is going away a little bit, making my life easier. So that is cool. I've been having a lot of issues over the past few weeks with my body hurting. And I really thought that with the weight loss, my body hurting would sort of diminish. And my feet feel better, my knees feel better, but my hips, my shoulders, my wrists, have really been giving me some trouble over the past, especially this past week. They've really been sore. And I'm like, I don't like this. I emailed my nutritionist about it, and I was like, I have kind of been doing light workouts and stuff like that. Like nothing really serious, mostly just like weights and resistance band and stuff like that. And my body hurts, and I don't know why. And I asked her, are there some foods that I can incorporate into my diet that can kind of alleviate some of the cramping that I've been having in my shoulders, stuff like that. And she messaged me back with some good information. And she also said, you should look into taking some yoga classes. And I was like, oh. And I've had other people suggest this to me numerous times when I talk about weight loss and talking about wanting to tone my body as I lose and wanting to improve my flexibility and all that. And I'm like, I've tried yoga in the past. It's never been good. I always feel really awkward and out of place. And everybody's like, it's because you're not taking the right classes. You always get yourself into a class that's too advanced, which is true because I'm in there and I'm like, I don't know what these people are doing. And if you think I can do that, you're plumb crazy. So I was like, okay, I'm at a completely different point in my life now than I was when I tried it at any other time. So maybe I should give it another shot, a fair chance. So I started doing some research. I found a class, a beginner class, that happens on Mondays at 5:30 in the evening. So that works out really well for me. I'm off on Mondays. I'm not a super early morning person, so an evening class is great. So we did that. We went. I posted on my Facebook about it. A lot of people wanted to go, but Mondays are not really good for a lot of people, especially with back to school right now. And that's cool. But my boyfriend was actually off yesterday evening, so he went with me, which I was very surprised and grateful that he was willing to do that. And we both ended up really enjoying the class. So he does not have a set schedule the way that I do. So he will not be able to go with me every Monday, but he said he would go when he can. So that's really awesome. And by the way, he's doing awesome with his whole thing. He did not have weight loss surgery or anything like that. But since my surgery, he has completely changed the way that he eats. And he actually started the Couch to 5K by himself, we tried to do it together before, and our schedules do not coincide. So we were always making the other one wait to go work out, and it just did not jive well with either of us, and we ended up not finishing the 9-week program. So he's started that again on his own, and I'm very proud of him for that. But I digress. And anyway, one of my friends had also suggested this other yoga instructor, I guess somebody she has practiced with before. And I looked this woman up, and I was really intimidated because she is like a serious yoga instructor, like very advanced, very good at what she does, which is awesome. But I was just like really intimidated because I was like, oh, I don't want it to be like before and everything. And I messaged her about my concerns and all that, and she made suggestions on to which of her classes she thinks would be most appropriate for me. So after I went to this other beginner yoga class on Monday, I really enjoyed it and was like, you know what, I think I'm ready to just jump in with both feet and give this a shot. So the class that the other yoga instructor, her name's Marissa, had suggested to me was on Tuesday mornings at 10 a.m. And it's sort of a self-led class, which at first really freaked me out. But she explained that she's there to teach you new poses, to teach you new techniques, and show you how to smooth out your transitions and all of that. Some people have already memorized a lot of their poses and routines and stuff, and so they kind of just go at their own pace, and she gives them pointers and shows them how to add on to things as they go. So it's really good for beginners because you're not just doing what everybody else is doing. So it's not like there's a teacher that's like, okay, this is what we're doing, and if you don't get it, sorry. You know, she sort of individually works with you, goes through the room, teaches you how to do some poses. You do it repetitiously until you've committed it to memory, and you can do it over and over again, and then she'll teach you a couple more poses, and you add it all together. In this style of yoga, you do all the poses one after the other. So you're constantly in motion, you know, except for when you're holding a pose and breathing or whatever, but you just move from one point to another, which is a serious freaking workout. And that is why I look like this today, you guys, because my friend went with me. Very grateful for her to go with me. She's in school right now. She's working on her thesis for graduation. She presents in November. Like, she's got so much going on in her life. So I'm very grateful that she took a couple hours out of her busy schedule to go and do this class with me. And we were both so intimidated when we got there because this place looks exactly like how you feel like a yoga school would look like. I mean, got all this art on the walls, and it's beautiful and very cultural, and I love all of that. But it's just like obviously a place that people who are really serious about the practice go. And I was just like, not that I don't want to be serious about this, because I do, but I also don't want to embarrass myself in front of people. So we were super intimidated when we got there, but as the class progressed, I got increasingly more comfortable because Marissa was very good at explaining things to us and just letting us do them at our own pace and offer us pointers when we needed it, reminding us of our feet positioning and stuff like that. So very, very educational, very helpful. Also kicked my freaking butt, man. Like, I was sweating up a storm, my heart was pounding, my breathing was all over the place. Oh my gosh, it was a serious freaking workout. I'm going to be really sore tomorrow. I can already feel it, which is awesome, but crazy that just an hour and 45 minutes of doing that. And, you know, I felt like I did some work for sure. So I think it's going to be good. However, I did kind of have a little moment during the class that really upset me. And I was doing my thing. It was probably about an hour into the class, about 50 minutes into the class. My friend and I had learned a series of new poses, and we were doing them, and everything was good. And then all of a sudden, I felt my blood sugar just drop. And I mean, if you have issues with your blood sugar, you know how instantaneously this can happen. And I came up out of one pose, and every time you stand up, you want to inhale so you don't get dizzy. So, I'm like, as I'm standing up, and I think I'm good, and I'm about to bend and go into the next pose, and something just happens, and I just get so dizzy, and I just, like, my eyes are just kind of like, whoa, what is that? And I sort of stood there for a minute and tried to just center myself and just really breathe, and I just got dizzier and dizzier, and I kind of, like, looked up, and I started kind of seeing the spots. My vision was kind of fading a little bit, and I just immediately dropped to my knees because I thought for sure I'm going to pass out. Like, I'm going to pass out right now because I was so dizzy, so lightheaded, and my vision was just doing funky things, and I just dropped to my knees because if I hit the floor, I wanted to be as close to it as possible. I did not pass out, but I really scared myself. So I kind of just sat there for a minute. Marissa came over and asked me if I was okay. I said I needed to excuse myself. And I was stupid. I didn't bring anything with me other than just water. I didn't bring a power bar, protein shake. Like, I didn't have anything but water with me. So I sat down for a couple of minutes, sipped on some water, did some deep breathing, calmed myself down, and then I just broke. I started crying because I was so angry. And I don't want to cry. I never cry in any of my videos, but I was so angry that my health issues because of my weight were getting in my way. I was trying so hard to get into something new, to help myself through this journey. And for a second, I thought I wasn't going to be able to finish. I wasn't going to be able to do it because of the issues that I have caused myself to have. I did this to myself. I ate my way to type 2 diabetes. And that is hard to say, and that's hard to accept, but it's true. And I'm not on any diabetic medication anymore. I control it with my diet. However, I have not worked out to this intensity since I quit my medications and started trying to do this on my own. So I didn't know how things were going to affect me. I know now that when I am exercising that much, I need to consume more calories. All I had before I went to the class was a protein shake, and I thought that would be good. But apparently it was not enough, and I need to make sure that I am augmenting that to get me through that intense of a practice, because I don't want to have to stop doing what I'm doing because my body won't let me. And I was so mad that I was getting in my own way. That's how I felt. But I sat there for a couple of minutes. I had my moment, and then I sucked it up, and I was like, you're going to go back in there, and you're going to freaking finish this, and you're not going to let this ruin it, because it won't always be this way. Eventually, my body will reacclimate. Eventually, I will understand what I need to do to keep myself stable. So I sipped on some water until I felt normal again, and I went back in and continued. And I stayed there for about another hour and 10 minutes. So, I guess maybe not quite that long. I stayed in there until we were done. We went through the whole cool down and meditation and everything. I stayed until the end, and I was still getting a little dizzy here and there, and when I needed to, I would stop and I would breathe, but I didn't let it cut my practice short. I went ahead and went through with it. So it was hard. It was really hard to have that happen. So that's something I have to work on, I guess. But I'm almost at 15 minutes, so I'm going to go ahead and cut this off. I hope you guys have an awesome week. Get out there, do something new and fun for yourself, and I will see you guys on Thursday. Bye.